Hello, everyone. This is Lisa Andrus, Psychic Medium, and this is your weekly reading for August 24th through 30th, 2015. And I have to say that as I was looking at the calendar to see what week this was for, I can't believe how quickly the year is going, but at the same time, for me personally, it's just fine with me. There's been lots of change this year, and I feel like things are just getting better, and in our last quarter here, I just heard in my head it'll be better than you imagined. I just got a message yesterday that we were supposed to use the Life Purpose Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue today, and then as I was pulling Life Purpose off of the shelf, because I have a couple shelves full of Oracle cards, the Flower Therapy Oracle cards came with them. So what I did, and as you can see, the main reading for the week is the Life Purpose cards. And then for the week, or not the weekend, well, maybe it is the weekend too, but our overlying theme for the week then will be from the Flower Therapy Oracle cards. So I have shuffled and pre-drawn the cards to save some time, and let's see what this week has in store for us. Author is the Monday, Tuesday card, and it says you have a book inside of you that wishes to be expressed. Make the time to write it. Okay, they want me to talk a little bit about how I am an author. And if you would have told me a few years ago, let's see, I started writing my book in 2012. That was my first book, Gifted, a guide for medium psychics and intuitives. And I had felt a hit to start writing long before that. I think my entire life. Because when I was a teenager, I wanted to write like a book, like a young adult book. But, you know, in those days, I wouldn't have known how to do that. And now, thankfully, due to the advent of self-publishing, I remember I ended up writing Gifted because of a prophetic dream that I had had that told me to write a book. And I sat down not knowing what I was going to write, but the dream that I had, because it seemed so prophetic, let's just say it scared me into action. It was quite a motivator for me. And I remember sitting down and saying to myself, okay, I think what I'm going to do is write the book that I wanted to write, because now I've not only been a psychic medium for a few years, but I've taught others. At the time, I was facilitating a weekly kind of local support group for people that were evolving, psychics, mediums, intuitives, healers, whatnot. And I just thought, okay, when I first realized that I might be a medium, I really turned to books. I did an event last night where it was like a party, and a lot of the people there were having the first readings that they'd ever had. And the one girl said to me on the way out, I don't know what I'm going to tell my boyfriend. And I said, honey, just tell him you were at a party, right? And so that's a testament to the fact that when people start opening up, maybe they don't know who they're safe telling or who to go to. So that was the book that I wrote. But I digress a little here, that when I sat down to write Gifted, I thought to myself, I have no idea how I'm going to do this. I mean, let's be honest. Writing a book is a very daunting task. So I thought, I wrote the whole thing on Microsoft Word, and I wrote a list of subjects that I thought might be interesting. And then I asked some of my students, so if you think that you might write a book like that, or some sort of nonfiction book, and it's something where you want to teach people, one of the best things I did was I asked my students. That's how I got a chapter called Spirit Guides. It never even dawned on me. A lot of people want to know who their spirit guides are. I just either know or know that I know what I need to know and I don't need to look into it further. So it just was never something that had crossed my mind. So if you are writing a book like that or have thought of writing a book like that, it's a good thing. Now, if you want to write fiction, the only thing I can do is say to study what, because I also write fiction under a pen name, Gabriella Scott, and I would say to study the field or the genre that you're going to write, because for me, I wrote romance, and luckily for me, a lot of the research I'd done just because I love to read. But they just want me to get back to saying that a book is not written overnight. Right now I'm writing a book, a fiction book, my first ever paranormal romance. I took a long time to plot it. I know that I have what I feel is a great plot. And some days I don't feel like writing. And that's okay, because what I learned when I was writing Gifted, which took me about a year to write, because I wasn't writing every day. I work during the day and I don't have time. But here's what I've learned is, because now I've written 5 or 6 books, and I've rushed some of them, or I felt really a lot of pressure to get them done. And now what I realize is there's no pressure. Your book will get done. And know that if you feel guided to write, just remember that books are written a little bit at a time. And they want me to tell you about how I didn't really feel qualified. I was scared when I wrote Gifted. Like, who the hell am I to be writing this? What would my peers think of this? Will people think I'm nuts? You name it. You can get in your own way all you want, but you're still an author. If you've been thinking of writing a book, you're still an author. Okay? So get to work, because the book's not going to write itself. And even if you write a few sentences, or you sit there and you start to plot out your book, that's still a start. And you can, decide on another idea. You can write several books at once, but get started and know that you don't start out with a whole novel in your hands. It gets written a little bit at a time, okay? And for the middle of the week here, we have, a great card, Infinite Abundance. And it says, you're fully supported as you devote yourself to your divine life purpose. I just heard the word gratitude, and today I really have had a lot of gratitude, just saying things like, I love my life and I'm so grateful for this or that. The universe loves gratitude. So even if you're unhappy or you don't see a sign of the abundance yet, know that these ideas, including the ones to write that book, are maybe signs with the infinite abundance. They want me to talk about the book again too. If your first book comes out and it's not what you thought it was, keep writing. Just keep writing. Know that if you're doing what you love, it's going to bring you infinite abundance. And when I said that, I almost heard people groan like, oh, Lisa, but I've got this job during the day that I hate. Well, do what you love on the side. Do it a little at a time. It was funny because the party I went to last night, the woman hosting it had her daughter there, who I would say is somewhere around the age of 10. And it was really cute because she told me that she was selling some headbands and some bookmarks at the party to try to make some extra money. She told me how much they were, and then it was funny because she was talking to me and she said, I want a reading. And I told her how much the reading was, and she goes, ooh, I better up the price of my bookmarks and things. And it was just kind of funny because we almost had a little, when I was done, I asked her how much she made and how she was doing and how a business is built a little at a time. And obviously it's just something to make her extra money. But what I love now is they have degrees in entrepreneurship. I mean, there's all sorts of things that you can do. And they want me to say too that I gave a reading last night to somebody right now that she is a phlebotomist. And I believe that's drawing blood. And she's got a family and doesn't know how she will get to the place that she wants to go, which is eventually being a nurse. And as part of her reading, it came up and said, and I feel like we have had in our readings before, even though it takes 4 years, the odds are pretty decent that you'll probably be here in 4 years. And won't you be glad you did it? I have a few nurses that I know. And one of the nurses in my family worked hard while she was working full-time and raising a family and became a nurse. And that inspired her sister, who also has a family, to do it. And she's just doing it part-time because she has a job. She has a family to raise. And she's doing the best that she can with it. And I have to say, and these are my cousins, Jennifer and Michelle, and I have to say to you too, I respect the hell out of you for doing what you did. And to me, stuff like that inspires me And I hope in some way inspires you, whether it's to be a nurse, maybe it's to have full-time self-employment, your own business, to move to another state. That's all part of your infinite abundance. You have to believe it's there before you even see it. Fake it till you make it. But I have to say that I just feel that this is the way of saying that our dreams are coming true. Infinite abundance. The abundance that you seek is there. All you have to do is keep the gratitude and do what you love. Okay, and for the weekend here, we have flowers, and it says, working with flowers opens your heart and brings blessings to others through your life purpose. So I feel like we have gotten this card before, and I have to be honest, I get this card if I do my own readings. Maybe not this particular card, but it's funny because in a way, it always perplexes me because I never am sure what it's about. But I will tell you that I'm getting this, which is flower essences, and to be around flowers and to be around nature. And if you are in a city, I see like New York City, where, it's a little more, it's like perhaps not as much nature. To get some fresh flowers, to bring them into your house. And what they want to say to me right now too is plants. So I've been having fun now that I moved and can stay put for a little while here, getting some plants into my house, because to have the nature within, because I live in a condo too and I don't have a yard, but to have the nature with me, I feel like is wonderful and picks up negativity. So to remember, if you feel like doing flower essences or doing something with flowers as a career, this is a sign in the right direction. And if that doesn't resonate with you, then think about how you can incorporate nature, be more present with it, and be more present with flowers, okay? And now we have the overlying bonus card of the week, which is the Flower Therapy Oracle card. And let's see what that one has for us. It is New Idea, and it's a crab apple. And it says, your new idea is divinely guided and is meant to be shared with others. Continue to work on it as you are on the right path. So we had our author card, which we talked quite a bit about. And if it's not actually an idea for a book, then if you've had a new business idea, or they want me to talk again about this reading that I had last night, that it was somebody that had just had a new job. She'd been unemployed, but then she took a job, and now she's not really happy with the location or the fact that, she's working in a department, the ER, which I think that if you're empathic, it was hard for her to, and is hard for her to work in. So we talked about the new idea that she'd had, and there's a different hospital that she wants to apply at that is closer to her home, and she had tried to apply there and was turned down. So as part of the reading, we talked about the fact that I had that happen when I wanted to go to a certain company, but I decided I was just going to keep trying, and at some point it would probably work out. And so you have to get behind that new idea and believe in it. And you don't have to tell the world if it's something that you just want to do a little at a time. It kind of goes to the infinite abundance, and knowing that when you do what you love, and maybe that is through a new idea, that all your dreams will come true. You have to trust, and trust that your prayers have been answered, even if you don't yet see the results. If you heard my cat Simone, it was her way of putting an exclamation point. She's vocal sometimes, and she started to talk the minute we turned this new idea over. And to me, that is kind of an exclamation point from the universe saying, hey, you know what? Don't discredit your new ideas. Don't discredit your story ideas, or know that if you have these dreams, even if they seem like they're far away, like I want to buy a house or adopt a child, and I'm not ready to do either one of those things today, but that doesn't mean that idea is a bad idea. and that it won't work out. And I'm just going to hold on to it and say to the universe, you know what? I want this or something better. I trust God. I trust the universe. And I think the secret to getting there is just really putting one foot in front of the other, taking good care of myself, doing some things that make me happy for no reason at all. Like I've said before, I like roller coasters. Maybe it's doing something like fulfilling, the need to do something like that and forgetting all my cares for a day and just laughing and having fun. Life is far too serious. So it's good for us to do some self-care things. I see like a manicure, a pedicure, a massage. Take care of yourself in between all of those serious or action steps. But remember to co-create and only take guided action steps. That means don't force, because when you try to force, things don't always work out the way you'd planned. And even though this is getting a little long, they do want me to say to you, I had heard on YouTube a channeled message from Archangel Gabriel that simply said that if you feel a tightness in your stomach, or if you feel bad, you're resisting abundance. You are resisting receiving the abundance. We're not receivers, we're givers. That's what a light worker is. That's what you are. And it's really hard for us to receive. So I found a great likeness in the message that I heard to also what I hear from Abraham Hicks, which is staying in the flow and being happy and being grateful is kind of the pathway to abundance. So if you have discomfort, especially in your midsection, it was very interesting because I listened to it a couple of times, this channeled message from Archangel Gabriel. And I was like, it's so simple, but it's so profound. So at the time, I actually was having some discomfort in my midsection. And I thought, okay, that means that I'm not open to receiving. And I've tried to put my arms up to the universe to receive it, but really the key is doing what you enjoy. And if you can't find anything you enjoy right now, then finding an escape. For me, sometimes that's reading a book. Maybe it's taking a nap. Do what you have to do and try to be grateful and fake it till you make it, they just said to me, if you don't know how. Know that you're not alone. Know that the universe is grateful, God is grateful that you came to earth right now. Even if we don't understand all of life's mysteries, we are here, we are love, and that is part of our life purpose right there. Remember that the book won't get written all unless you put some energy towards it, and it's not going to be a novel right away. So the only way for you to write that book is to get out of your own way, sit down and write. Just write. Don't think about the end result, just write. Whatever it is that you want to do, I wish you many blessings and abundance. I love each and every one of you, and I'll speak to you again next week.